6
Critical
o'clock
alert.
local time.
Antimatter
It all
containment
began with
failure.
the acrid smell of ozone and burning plastic. My last memory aboard the proud UNS Valiant was the screaming siren signaling a critical failure in the antimatter drive system. Deadly red lights flashed across the gray titanium corridors. I was thrown into Escape Pod 5 just before it ejected from the launch bay, plummeting straight into the void. G forces pinned me to the leather seat. Then a skull shattering impact. Everything went dark. When I woke up, the escape pod was filled with thick black smoke. The control panel was on fire, showering sparks everywhere. My chest throbbed, and my mouth tasted strictly of blood and metal. I grabbed the fire extinguisher mounted on the wall and put out the flames just before they could reach the main circuit board.
System warning. Exterior structural damage. Unknown environment.
I climbed the aluminum alloy ladder and pushed against the hatch with all my might. It popped open. Blinding sunlight struck my eyes, forcing me to shield them with my hand. As my vision cleared, I stood frozen. No land, no trees, only a vast, deep blue ocean, eerily calm, stretching all the way to the horizon. The only colossal sight breaking that emptiness was the wreckage of humanity's pride. The massive UNS Valiant, now scorched black and half submerged a few miles away. The V-77 emblem on its hull was torn apart, and a thick column of black smoke pierced the cloudy sky. Beneath my feet, the water rippled gently. For the first time in my life, I felt absolute isolation. My throat was torn, my cracked lips were bleeding. Ironically, I was floating amidst billions of tons of water, yet I was dying of thirst. The seawater on this planet, 4546b, contained such high concentrations of salt and strange minerals that a single sip would shut down my kidneys. I couldn't hide in the escape pod anymore. Wearing the basic diving mask from the survival kit, I took a deep breath and plunged into the water. The cold enveloped me instantly, but the sight beneath the surface made me hold my breath, literally. This wasn't a dead sea. It was a vibrantly colorful ecosystem. Giant, softly glowing tubular coral reefs stretched out, and schools of bizarrely shaped fish with oversized eyes curiously swam past me. My eyes locked onto a strange creature. It was transparent, magenta, with a body swollen like a natural water balloon, floating thanks to delicate fins. Survival instinct kicked in. I paddled toward it, snatching it with trembling hands. Back in the life pod, I tossed the fish into the fabricator, a tiny, still functioning biological 3D printer.
Analyzing biological structure. Extracting pure H2O molecules.
A perfect bottle of filtered water popped out. I twisted the cap and chugged it down. It was the sweetest, purest water I had ever tasted in my life. The cold liquid flowed down my esophagus, carrying life into every withered cell. Looking out the salt-stained window of the life pod, I smiled bitterly. I had won the first round against death. Day 8, 1900 local time. My stomach was growling relentlessly. It was time to find food. Down there was a diamond-shaped fish, swimming incredibly fast with a giant eye in the middle of its face. They were too fast for my bare hands. Diving around the shallow coral reef, I picked up a few pieces of shattered titanium alloy blown off from the explosion of the UNS Valiant. Feeding them into the fabricator, I forged a survival knife with a thermal blade. It glowed a smoking, radiant orange whenever swung. That night, I roasted the first peeper I caught. Its meat was tough, salty, and had a faint hint of seaweed. Nights on this ocean are more terrifying than any horror movie I've ever seen. The surface is pitch black, without a single ripple. Sometimes, crackling noises, deafening screeches, and heavy splashing sounds echo from the deep abyss beneath the hull of my life pod. Something massive is swimming down there. Clutching my thermal blade, I stayed awake all night. Day 15. 8 o'clock local time. 15 days have passed, and the shallows no longer provide enough resources. I've gathered enough materials to craft a high-capacity oxygen tank, motorized fins, and most importantly, the hydrojet, a handheld underwater propulsion device. I stood on the roof of the lifepod, double-checking the air pressure of my tank. Everything is functioning perfectly.
High capacity O2 tank synchronized. Available oxygen time extended. Hydrojet propulsion system online.
In the distance, the wreckage of the UNS VALIANT occasionally shudders, accompanied by radioactive leaks that illuminate the surrounding water. Today, I will swim to the edge of the coral reef. There, the seabed suddenly drops off, plunging straight into a deep valley overgrown with giant, glowing green seaweed, where colossal dark shadows lurk within the dense foliage.
Topographical alert. Approaching steep ecological drop-off. Detecting high concentrations of massive, unidentified organic signatures.
My heart is pounding in my chest. My breathing echoes through the comms unit like the pulling of a blacksmith's bellows. I gripped the handles of the hydrojet and activated the engine. The propeller spun, dragging me tearing through the water. I rushed over the ledge of the shallows, plunging into the dim shadows of the giant kelp forest. The safe zone is gone. From this moment on, the ocean truly begins its game. Welcome to the abyss.
Critical alert. Colossal biological signature detected. Leviathan, class predator. Approaching.